Ja, hallo, willkommen bei Stanlay Parable. Und zwar haben wir jetzt schon verschiedene Storys fertig gehabt. Wir waren jetzt schon so weit gewesen. Wir waren pure Rebellen, pure Arschlöcher, haben ein bisschen den Computer verarscht. Wir waren auch schon im Gehirnwäscheraum. Aber jetzt müssen wir auch endlich die Geschichte zu Ende machen. Das heißt, ich werde jetzt einfach mal blind gehorchen und alles machen, was der Herr sagt. Dann beginnen wir mal.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Aha, dann gehen wir mal weiter. Also ich folge einfach dem Weg jetzt. Ich weiß ja schon, wie es läuft.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wobei, ich könnte jetzt rechts und dann den Weg geradeaus weitergehen.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ja, liebe Leute, also, wenn ihr euch dann beschwert, dass ich jetzt hier die ganze Zeit durchwasche, ihr könnt alle Zwischendialoge auch schon hören in den anderen.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ja, man sieht, jemand anders spielt auch was.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Gehen wir mal hoch zum Boss's Office. So, hierher.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ja, dann machen wir mal hier. Machen wir erstmal kurz mit. Also, ich renne ja schon für euch die ganze Zeit durch. Ich hoffe, dass auch hier ich zu hören bin. Aber egal. Komm, mach mal hin. Loading, 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 loading. Es loading weiter, es loading weiter, es loading noch weiter und weiter und weiter.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Dann, also, wie gesagt...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Also, wie gesagt, wenn es jetzt wirklich so schnell ist, ich war ja in der letzten Folge schon hier, ich will das nur durchwaschen für euch. Und jetzt.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ich muss es jetzt zerstören.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine...
Jetzt bin ich auch still, weil ja jetzt ein bisschen weiter geredet wird. Ich glaube zumindest. Okay. Ich kann mich bewegen.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Lass mich raus!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Okay.
The feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. Ja, beats the game. Also wir haben jetzt das erste, also das durchgeschafft. Aber ich glaube, mir fehlt noch ein... Es gab noch verschiedene Spieloptionen oder Modi. Verschiedene Wege, die ich noch nicht ausgekundschaftet habe. Aber das wird jetzt alles vorbei. Nee, lasst mich mal weiterlaufen.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Dann gehen wir erstmal jetzt da lang.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Diese Tür. Ja, nehmen wir diese Tür erstmal. Denn ich glaube, wir haben noch einen Punkt, wo wir hin müssen.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Denn, ihr wisst ja, letztes Mal standen wir beim Auto die ganze Zeit. Und ich glaube, wir könnten auch so rauskommen. Das will ich jetzt auch versuchen. Einfach mal durchwaschen.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Naja, ich glaube,
For example,
das war's dann jetzt
why
erstmal
couldn't
auch.
he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look...
Also ich vermute eher jetzt, dass es jetzt wieder die Wiederholung der Wiederholung ist. Das Ende kennen wir aber. Weshalb ich auch in der nächsten Folge einfach mal ein anderes Ende teste. Also wir sehen uns dann auch gleich wieder in der nächsten Folge. Aber dann an einem bestimmten Ort. Also ich werde jetzt dann nur noch mal ein paar Endkursenden mal reinpacken. Das verabschiede ich mich nicht, denn jetzt mache ich einfach mal einen kleinen Cut. Und wir sehen uns dann gleich. Okay. Tschüss.